Well, a very important walk is going to be taking place Saturday, June 9th. With us right now to say hello and give us all the details, very important. With us, it is Marie Giannetti. Hello, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Dylan. It's nice to be here.
Director and board of the Board of Directors, ALS Canada.
Yes.
We also have Michael Rannie with us as well, lead walker with the Ottawa WALK for ALS. So this walk, like I mentioned, happening June 9th, Canadian War Museum. Marie, how many years has this walk been around for?
It's actually started in 2004,
okay.
So we're 14 years in, and it's the biggest fundraiser that we have for ALS people. In terms of the walk, 60% of the funds collected go to support people who have ALS, and 40% goes to research.
Okay.
So in terms of help, you look at the equipment program, we look at support groups, we look at advocacy, and generally support to the families of ALS.
Okay, and I know you both have stories to tell here, but Michael, we'll start with you. I mean, so you were diagnosed with ALS?
1 year ago tomorrow.
Yeah, so extremely recent. So how did you know this was a problem?
In the fall of 2016, I started to have some weaknesses in my right hand. Originally, I thought it was tied to the arthritis that I was living with at that point in time, but the rheumatologist said, nope, it's something different, and sent me to a neurologist. And by June 1st, 2017, I was given the diagnosis of ALS, and the weaknesses continued since then. Okay.
And I know, Marie, we've had you on the show before, and you have quite the story as well, because, well, you became a caregiver for quite some time.
Yes, my husband had ALS for 4 years, and I was his main caregiver. ALS is a neuromuscular disease, and so what it means is that your muscles keep getting weaker and weaker. The thing about ALS is that there is no cure. So we have probably around 3,000 people at any one time in Canada with ALS. People live anywhere from 1 to 3 years. There is no cure. And it's a very costly disease. It costs somewhere between $150,000 to $250,000 a year. That's why it's so important, this big fundraiser, to donate and come to the walk. It's a fun event, and people are very excited. There's a barbecue afterwards.
Yeah.
And there's a nice silent auction table as well.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So you have some fun happening on a day like this. So Michael, now you've put together a team. So who would be on your team at this point?
A lot of family members, a lot of people from work who are giving us some support, friends from all over. They're coming in, and I mean, one of the things, it was great to find out a number of people that were supporting me once the diagnosis was provided. So I've got a team of about 30 people plus that will be coming out on the walk to support me.
Do you have a fundraising goal for yourself or your team?
I had an original fundraising goal that I actually had to increase. So we've collected over $20,000 on the team for the society.
Well, that's a good problem to have, I guess, when you have to increase your fundraising goals. That's great. Okay, so now it's also known, Marie, for those, it's known as Lou Gehrig's disease.
Correct.
And I guess he really brought it to the light.
Yes.
Made people very aware of it back when he was diagnosed. Where exactly where do things stand right now when it comes to research and a possible?
There's lots of research ongoing right now, and I'd have to say a lot of that is thanks to the funds that were raised by the Ice Bucket Challenge. And with those funds, ALS Canada has a very robust program for research and to support young researchers doing their research. In fact, I have been told that over the last 5 years, there's been basically an explosion in research, much more so than the last 20 years. And that's thanks to the funding. As you know, research was going to be the cure for ALS. So hence the importance of donations and to make it a treatable, not a terminal disease.
There's another challenge going on these days now, the hot pepper challenge?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The hot pepper challenge is also another way to raise funds for ALS, and anyone who wants to do it, please do. And we challenge you, Dylan, if
Well,
you
had
want
I
to do that
known,
sometime.
I mean, I would have brought in some hot peppers. I would have eaten the whole jar for you.
I will do that another time, maybe. That would be fun.
For sure. Michael, can I ask, I mean, how are you feeling a year into this diagnosis?
Well, every day is progressively gets a little worse. I lose the ability to do something every day. This morning, for example, I found that I can't do a zipper anymore. So it's just adjusting as things move on. Just to follow up in terms of what Anne-Marie had indicated in terms of the lack of cure, the other thing that you get hit when the diagnosis is provided is there is no treatment. So you're left with dealing with the progression with little medication or anything to avoid the progression from occurring. So it's more than just a cure. It's working for research to even have a treatment plan for someone who's getting the diagnosis of ALS.
Anne-Marie, where can people find more resources to help either themselves or loved ones?
They can go online, Walk for ALS. They can look at ALS Canada. If you can't come to the walk, you can certainly donate online. It's very easy to do, very quick. If you come out to the walk, there'll be all kinds of people who have ALS and others that you can come and talk to them and see what it's like.
Yeah.
It's a very debilitating disease with my husband. It started in his legs, then he lost his arms, he lost his voice, and he was totally paralyzed.
I got to wrap you up, but of course, ALS.ca for more details and all the good things that you're doing. Thank you very much for being here today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Rogers, for allowing us to be here.
More coming up.